Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
Now I'm VAWLS JP.
We are coming to you with another video, and today there's no breaking news. There's no real narrative. I was sitting back doing a little bit of thinking. Everything is really kind of quiet this Sunday morning. But I saw this article, and this is something I've been thinking about, kind of mentioning it a little bit on air. So I do want to give credit before we get into this. A to Z Sports Nashville put out an article saying Tennessee football, why it's time to start viewing Jeremy Pruitt differently. And I want to kind of get into that mindset, that train of thought in this short little video we're going to do, because it's been almost a month to the day since Jeremy Pruitt walked off the field at Neyland Stadium after losing to Texas A&M 34-13. We all know the story. 7th loss of the season. And it's really no secret. The mindset of the Talkin VAWLS hosts pretty much almost all season that we are not a fan of Jeremy Pruitt. We've been off the bandwagon for a while. You know, even going back to 2019, we had our doubts. We say it all the time, the Georgia State game, the BYU game. But then the Vols rolled off 8 wins in a row. But when you sit down and you look at that winning streak, JP, half of those wins were by 4 points or less. And they were also teams that Tennessee should have beat. We know the story from there. 6 straight losses, 3-7 this year, all by double digits. So my question is this. If Jeremy Pruitt is back, and we're going to get into some of the reasons, can you get on board? Can you buy in one more time? At what point does this fan base pack it in and stop caring?
Well, for me personally, he's going to have to beat somebody of significance before that I could start buying in. I'm rooting for him as long as he is the head coach at the University of Tennessee. I'm going to root for him, and I hope he turns it around. If he's able to, and it's his stall still, if he continues to be the head coach for the 2021 season, if he turns it around with all the negativity that's been surrounding him and all the issues and the investigation and the losing the games and getting blowed out by all these teams, all these double-digit losses, it will be an absolute, just a tremendous job. I'm not for sure that he gets there with that, even if he is the head football coach. I'm looking at what he's done as far as win-loss records and the product that is being put out on the field. And nobody is going to convince me otherwise or say otherwise. I wouldn't think that certainly the 2020 season was a huge disappointment considering the returning players that Tennessee had coming back, the experience that they had coming back, and just everything that happened on the football field. And I mean, we've hashed it out over and over and over, all the issues that happened in 2020. But if he's still the coach, I'm not buying in, Boogie, until he beats somebody that is more than a South Carolina or a Kentucky or a Missouri. He's going to have to beat a Florida or a Georgia or a Texas A&M. Alabama, that's not even on the radar. So I don't expect that, sadly. But, he's got to find a way to beat a Florida, a Georgia, a Texas A&M, somebody that gives this fan base something to say, okay, we are starting to be able to play with these teams.
Okay. And at the end of the day, you're right. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is wins and losses. But something I want to go back and talk about that you mentioned there is how impressive it would be if somehow Jeremy Pruitt is able to turn this thing around and right the ship in the face of all the negativity. Because to me, and you touched on this way back in the middle of the season, the quote about, well, I'll just go back and coach defense at Alabama. With all the negativity, Jeremy Pruitt could have easily packed it in. He could have given up. He could have quit. Let's look at some of the things that he has done in the midst of a complete meltdown, us included. We're fans. We say that all the time. We're just fans. We're not media. We're not this, that, or the other. We're included in this meltdown. It has been chaos for the last 28, 29, 30 days, whatever it's been. We're almost to a month to the day since that last game. Amidst the chaos, the meltdown by the Vol fans, and then also the internal investigation, it would be very easy for Pruitt to pack it in and not do his job. And let's look at some of the things. And maybe this first one I want to look at, maybe it's not Jeremy Pruitt. I think it really shocked us all when we're looking at this offseason, and that's the addition of Hendon Hooker at the quarterback position. And again, I don't know how much this is Jeremy Pruitt versus just Hendon Hooker taking advantage of an opportunity with an empty quarterback room. But again, looking forward to 2021, this is a need. Hendon Hooker. And again, this probably really isn't a Jeremy Pruitt thing, but I did want to mention it. Something that is a Jeremy Pruitt thing that I want to talk about next is Kevin Steele. And again, this is in the midst of, I keep using the same word, but it's the truth. A meltdown by the Vol fans. And Jeremy Pruitt, that's the name, not Philip Fulmer. We are told that Jeremy Pruitt is involved in hiring Kevin Steele, a guy that I think is going to add a lot to this defense when you look at his experience, his knowledge, and then the price tag. What do you think? Again, judging Jeremy Pruitt on what he's done this offseason.
Well, I mean, honestly, based on everything that's been going on and all the negativity, I mean, he has certainly stayed the course and has continued to do his job. But at the same time, Boogie, I mean, that's what he is paid to do, and he's getting paid pretty handsomely for that. So, I think that if he did just mail it in, I almost think that would be a very, very bad look on him. Should he have any future aspirations of being a head football coach? Now, I would say internally, I'd say, amongst his small group of people, I guarantee that he has been probably very frustrated with the way that, things have been perceived towards him. But again, it's all about the product on the field. It's all about the record and how that he has, not been able to develop these kids. And we talked about it. If Jeremy Pruitt would have moved on from Jarrett Garantano after that Kentucky game, I think that there would be a lot more fans that would have giving him I'm not going to say a break, but they wouldn't be after him the way that this fan base has went after him. I firmly believe that. That's when that he lost this fan base completely, was that Kentucky debacle, and then he comes back and he continues to put Garantano out there.
Yeah, so we even made a video, or I guess it was a live stream, Jarrett Garantano and the death of Tennessee football. Is that going to be the sinking ship, or can Jeremy Pruitt learn from that? Can he learn from his mistakes, or was Jeremy Pruitt right? I'm not saying Jarrett Garantano. Obviously, he was not the guy, but was JT Shrout the guy? Was Brian Maurer the guy? Was Harrison Bailey the guy? Unfortunately, we'll never know. You will never know if Harrison Bailey was ready at that time. I don't. My personal opinion, I don't think he could have done any worse. What's the worst that could happen? They lose a game. Well, they lost 7 of them, 7 out of 10. So regardless of whether he was ready or not, I think that was the downfall, like you said. But again, can Jeremy Pruitt learn about it? And let's talk about some talent again. I agree with what you're saying. The only thing that matters is the on-field result. Well, how can we get that on-field result that we're looking for? This would be a good little start right here. Let me go ahead and share this. Everybody's already seen it by now, but it was yesterday, 7:07 p.m. This tweet goes out from Big Cat Bryant. Your leadership and guidance has gotten me to where I am today. Blessed with the opportunity to play on the same field with you again, Shelton Felton. Once my coach, always my coach. Hashtag committed. Big Cat Bryant to the Vols. It's official. Edge rusher, former 4-star out of high school. Are more Auburn players coming? This is something we speculated on when the Steele hire was made. Big Cat was right at the top of the list, but do you think we're going to see more players from that Auburn defense?
I mean, I guess that it's certainly possible. I know that the defensive back supposedly is trying to transfer. I think his last name's Tutt, I believe, with him. But I would think that there may be some possibly other defensive players, or maybe even a few offensive guys on there that is close to a steal. But I mean, this is a good pickup. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's a position of need. He's going to come in. He's a grad transfer, so there shouldn't be any kind of issues as far as him being eligible in the fall. He's going to he's got SEC experience, so this is good. This is good, and I think, and again I say I think that this means that we could expect Pruitt to be back, but I'm so hesitant to say anything like that because we just don't know, because
Right.
it's just everything is just so up in the air still with all this stuff. But I will say this, him getting Steele, like you mentioned, yes, that is good, certainly good, regardless of whether Pruitt is back or not. Having Kevin Steele on staff is a good thing. If Pruitt stays on, what I'm going to be looking at, Boogie, is who does he hire to replace Friend as the offensive line coach? Who does he hire probably to replace T. Martin as the wide receiver coach? Because I still do not believe that T. Martin will be back. So is there anybody else on this coaching staff that he's going to end up either letting go or they're going to go look somewhere else? I think it came out last night that Joe Osavet had interviewed for Central Florida position as a wide receiver coach. I think Austin Price said that basically that he didn't know whether or not that he was going to have a job, so he felt like that he had to go and at least interview for it. From what Price is saying, that he feels like that if Pruitt is back, that Osavet stays. But I mean, even this coaching staff, I mean, they are all in limbo as far as how all of this goes. But I'm interested to see if Jeremy Pruitt is retained, the coaches that he brings in to fill out his staff, because I've been on record in saying that if he stays and he's a lame duck coach going into 2021, he's going to have a hard time finding any kind of quality assistant coaches to come on board. But he's proved otherwise as far as Kevin Steele. So can he get quality assistant coaches to fill out this coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crucial. And we can sit here and we can talk about Big Cat Bryant. We can talk about, Eric Gilbert, if they do somehow find a way to pull him from LSU, which I'm not expecting. He's a 5-star tight end, number 1 tight end in the country. I think I saw he was top 5 overall player.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is an absolute stud. And the reason his name is getting mentioned with Tennessee, obviously the connection with Harrison Bailey. If they pull him, and they pull Big Cat Bryant, and let's say they pull a couple of more players off of that Auburn defense, or maybe, like you said, maybe an offensive player, you got to be able to develop talent. We talk about it time and time again. If you're not developing talent, then it doesn't matter what these kids are rated out of high school. And that goes back to the importance of these hires that Jeremy Pruitt, if he is back, again, speculation, we don't know. These hires are going to be very important. You can go back and look at the last 15 years of Tennessee football. How many times has a hire or fire, more importantly, a hire at defensive coordinator? How many times have we seen it? Time and time again that you make those hires, and then the next season you're out the door. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes up. I want to ask you guys. I want you guys to leave us a comment. Let us know. Smash that thumbs up if you have not done so yet. But I want you guys to let us know, can you buy in one more time? How many times have we been asked to do this? Just buy in, just buy in. Can you buy in as a Tennessee fan? Can Jeremy Pruitt win you over? I know what's going to happen. We're going to be sitting there week one thinking, all right, it's time. Here we go. But he is going to be on a very short leash. The first time the team makes a mistake, JP is going to be done with him. It's over. Fire Pruitt. I know how it is. The point of this video is I just wanted to point out some of the things that Jeremy Pruitt has done nicely over the last few weeks in the face of adversity, in the face of a complete meltdown by Vol Nation, us included. We're right in the midst. I can't speak. Of it. It must be too early for us to be doing a video, I guess. It's something we didn't even talk about, him traveling to visit with Crouch and Henry T. I think, those are good moves that he needed to make, sitting down face to face with players that you need back on this football team. But that's it. Again, smash that thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Let us know. Can you buy in one more time? Can you buy in? I think there's going to be a whole lot of no, but I wanted to put something a little different out and see what you guys think of it. But for Vols JP, I'm Boogie Bentley. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to go live if any news breaks. And the last thing I have to say is go Big Orange.
The dogs howl like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls on